A very good morning, students. How are you? I hope you are taking good care of yourself. This is Sonia Verma, your SST teacher from Springfields Public School. So, children, today we are going to start a new chapter of geography, that is major landforms. First, let us see what are landforms. Different shapes of land which you see around you. For example, mountains, plateaus, plains, then coastal plains, deserts, islands, and many other different landforms are there, like waterfalls, lakes, caves, etc. All these are called landforms. Now let us see, children, how these landforms are formed. So let us assume that this is the surface of the earth. This is under the surface of the earth and this is outside the surface of the earth. So two forces, they are acting on the surface of earth. First force is the endogenic force. So this force, it is originating under the surface of the earth, inside the surface of the earth. So these forces basically, they are always pushing the surface of the earth upwards. For example, you must have heard plate tectonics, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions. So they are leading to the formation of different landforms since they are pushing the surface of the land upwards. So they are leading to the formation of mountains, etc. Another force which is acting on these landforms is the exogenic force. So this force, it is working outside the surface of the earth. So exogenic force works in two stages. First is weathering takes place, then second erosion and deposition take place. Children, you can take out page number 28. Everything is given on left hand side of this page. So let us see, what does weathering do? Basically, weathering breaks the rock into smaller pieces. So rocks which were there, it breaks those big rocks into smaller pieces. This is what weathering does. So how does weathering break those rocks into small rock material? Through its different agents of weather: heat, cold, chemical reactions, frost action. Plants, animals, they help in disintegration and decomposition of those rocks, and those rocks are broken into smaller pieces. So after weathering, erosion and deposition take place. Erosion, in the process of erosion, basically those rock materials which were broken up by weathering, they are transported to different other places and they are deposited in other places. So how erosion transports? It transports through its different agents like river, glaciers, wind and sea waves. So all these are agents of erosion which we are going to study in this chapter. So weathering and erosion and deposition, they basically reduce the height of these landforms, and endogenic forces, they increase the height of the landforms. So in this whole chapter we are going to study how exogenic forces through erosion and deposition lead to formation of many new landforms. See here now, children, I have explained you the whole process with the help of a chart, how landforms are formed through two forces, endogenic forces and exogenic forces. We are going to study only starting from the exogenic forces, all these different processes lead to formation of all these different landforms. So exogenic forces work in two ways: weathering and erosion and deposition. The different agents of erosion and deposition are river, sea waves, moving ice and wind, which lead to the formation of all these different landforms. And in this chapter we are going to study how all these different landforms are formed. Now come to the right hand side of page number 28, children. You can see the work of river. So we are going to see how a river leads to the formation of so many different landforms. So after the rainfall, the water, it forms different streams, and those streams they join to form a main river. So first of all, the first we are going to study is the source of the river, where the river originates, where the river starts. That place is called the source of the river. So it is starting from this area, so this place is called the source of the river. Ganga starts from the Gangotri glacier, so Gangotri glacier is the source of Ganga river. So after the source, they have given in the book the mouth of the river. So the river flows through the mountains towards the plains, from the plains. When it meets another water body, that place is called the mouth of the river. So that water body, it can be a lake also, it can be an ocean also. So that place where it is meeting, that river is meeting another water body, that place is called the mouth of the river. Now come to the next landform which is given is river basin. So different streams, they join to form one river. Different tributaries are there. These streams, different streams which are joining to form one river, are called tributaries. So the area which is drained by the river, whenever rainfall is there, all these different streams which are taking that water into the main river, that whole area which is being drained by this river, that is called the, so all this region, this is called the river basin. Let us see another next landform which is a V-shaped valley. So when this river is flowing through the mountains, it is doing more erosion. It is eroding that rock material and it is forming V-shaped valleys. Since the speed of the river is very high, so it does more erosion in the hilly areas, in the mountainous areas. When it enters the plains, it does more deposition. So in the mountains, it does more erosion, it takes away more material and deposits in the plain areas, because the speed of the river reduces in the plains. So these valleys, they are called V-shaped valleys. Next landform given in your book is the waterfall. When the water falls almost vertically down a steep valley side, water is falling down a steep valley side, that is called a waterfall. Waterfall is important because they are used to generate hydroelectricity. Next landform given is a rapid. The water is flowing, the river is flowing in the mountainous regions, and you can see river is flowing from here. At once the speed of the water increases in this particular region because a steep slope has come here. So this place where the speed of the river increases at once, that is called a rapid. After rapid, now let us do another landform which is called meanders. So after going through the mountains, the river now it has entered the plains. and it starts to widen. It keeps on becoming more and more wide, and it starts to bend and loop. So these bends which are there in the river, they are called meanders. I'm showing you one more picture of meanders here, children. All these bends and loops which are there in the river, these are called meanders. All these bends and loops, they are meanders. So you can see this, that these loops, they keep on coming closer to each other. You can see that this bend has come so close to this bend. So over time, as more and more erosion takes place, this river, this part of the river, it will straight away form a channel here. It will erode this region, and this river will start flowing straight away to this stream. So this part of the bend will be cut off from the main channel, and this part will form an oxbow lake. You can see an oxbow lake here also. So when this river will start flowing like this straight away through this channel, this part will be cut off, and this region, this part will form an oxbow lake. You can see in this picture now, children, this is a meander, and this is an oxbow lake which has been cut off from the main channel, and this place it has formed an oxbow lake. This was the meander. These bends were the meanders, and this part cut off now is the oxbow lake. Let us come to the next landform, that is the flood plain given in your book. So whenever floods are there in the plain areas, the water from the river, it overflows its banks and goes to the this whole region. So the soil which is brought by the river, the alluvial soil, fine alluvial soil brought by the river, it is deposited on this whole region which is covered by the floods. So this particular region, it becomes very fertile because of that alluvial soil brought by the river through the mountains. So this particular fertile part, all this part where the flood was there, that part is called floodplain. Now come to the next landform, that is the natural leaves. So we had seen previously when the floods were there, the fine alluvial soil, it was deposited on the valley floor, and the coarse material, which was not so fine, is deposited along the banks of the river. So it keeps on becoming more and more high because of the coarse material which is deposited here during the floods. So this high part, this is known as the natural leaves. So children, in our next lesson we will finish the work of river and start the work of sea waves. So that is all for today. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.